Alright, so I know I've made a video for you guys in the past about nailing the metal on the outer covers, but I don't think I've made one about assembling the outer covers. Now, I try to organize this playlist in such a manner that it kind of go through step by step building each component of the hive. So this video will actually be posted in order before nailing the metal on, which of course makes sense, in a time-wise fashion. But I just mentioned that I made the video before. I made that video quite some time ago when you look at the dates. Anyway, 5 real simple components. You've got 2 long rails, 2 short rails, and a piece of plywood. Now you can use plywood, you can use OSB, you can use MDF, whatever you want to use. I don't think it makes a difference so long as you make sure you do put the metal on for weather protection. In the past, I've used 3/4 inch plywood just by default, everything being 3/4 stock, but they're pretty heavy, pretty stout outer covers, and unless you get a sort of updraft that's going to suck the lids off your hive, which would be, I don't know, like a tornado, in which case your hive probably is going to have a little bit more problems than just the wind taking the top off. I've never had the wind take a top off a hive yet in 2 years, just with plain old outer covers, just their own weight. I think 1/2 inch will be fine, and it'll save you a pound or 2, which doesn't sound like a lot, but every little bit counts to take a little strain off. So anyway, like I said, 2 long covers, or 2 long bars, 2 short bars, and a piece of plywood. Cut your short bars in the exact same fashion that you would for building boxes. So you cut a 3/4 by 3/8 dado on each end. That's where you're going to have your lap joint. And then you cut a 3/4 by 3/8 dado in the top, which will be the groove where your plywood sets in. Now in this case, again, I'm using 1/2 inch, so this is actually 3/8 by 1/2, not 3/8 by 3/4. The only difference from boxes is that on boxes, on your long sides, you don't cut a dado, but on these, we're going to go ahead and cut that same 3/8 by 1/2 inch dado, and that's so that we get the lid sitting in all the way around in a good, good fashion. So it just gives you a little bit more security. Make sure your lid won't sag. If you didn't have this overlap here, then your lid could actually want to sag under its own weight over time. So this gives it a rest for that wood to sit right on this channel here. So let me get the camera set up and walk you through how we nail all this together. Alright, so again, we've got our 4 components that we mentioned. I'm going to set the plywood out of the way here for just a second so I have a good flat work surface. Put my muffs on, do a little nailing. So y'all apologize the sound of the nail gun, but it won't be long. Set everything up loose and just tack it real quick. It doesn't have to be perfectly square while you're doing this. It's got flexibility to shift. Alright, daggum air compressor always kicks on right in the middle of my video, so gotta take a little break there, but go ahead and do your other end. Hey, I got good air pressure now at least. Alright, so you got your squared up box, real simple, kind of flimsy. Check your square just for grains, but it don't really matter because it's going to force itself tight whenever you put the plywood in. I'm pretty close. Sure, now I'm square. Let's put a couple nails in the ends just for cross tie straight. Make sure you don't get a shiner up in your dado where the plywood's going to go, because then your plywood won't sit level. Alright, we're squared up. The plywood doesn't have to look pretty because it's going to be covered up with metal anyway. So this is just old repurposed plywood I've had sitting around the garage. I don't even know where it came from. It's stained up and walked on. Plywood should fit right down in your groove. If it don't, give it a little thump. Give it a lot of thump. Give it some for real thump. There you go. Now, got the screwdriver. I got to get some extra thumb because I wasn't perfectly square. So now let's check our square. Yeah, now we're square. So the plywood's a fail-safe. All right, so we're snugged in here. This doesn't need a whole lot of strength because it's not load bearing. It's not supporting a whole lot of weight. So just a couple of tack nails along the top, all the way around. Remember which way you're going. Make sure you kind of hold it tight, especially in this case my plywood's wanting to bow. So I gotta push it in. Don't nail your hand. And of course, you always get one rogue nail. Back down, and again that won't matter because you're gonna cover it with metal. Voila! Got you a simple bottom board, or top cover, I'm sorry, simple top cover. Nice and lightweight, solid, I mean, that's solid. So, inside, nice and smooth, and this is designed so that it fits over the outside of your box, obviously. Here, I've got a deep here just to make sure. Like a glove. All right. Enough on that one. Now y'all see how to put on the metal. But like I said, just trying to share, trying to make sure you guys get everything. My whole goal with this particular playlist on my channel, walk you through step by step so you learn how to build every last bit of your own equipment. So I hope you enjoyed it. Hope it was simple. Hope it wasn't too long. And with that being said, I'm going to cut it off.